This meeting is being recorded.
Are you able to share, Bhagni?
Yeah, just a second.
Okay.
Can you see the screen? No? Can you see the screen?
आं भगिनी
Yeah,
दृश्यते।
Drishyate.
अत्र वर्गे आदरणीय साधितजनाः भवत्यः भवन्तः सर्वे सन्ति। मम अनुभवः अल्पमात्र एव अस्ति। अहं संस्कृतहस्तलिपि अङ्कीकरणक्षेत्रे सार्धैकवर्षतः किञ्चित् कार्यं कुर्वती अस्मि। अधुना अहम् अयं विषये मम किञ्चित् अनुभवं नम्रतया निवेदितुम् इच्छामि। अवकाशार्थं धन्यवादाः। नमस्ते शारदा देवी काश्मीरपुरवासिनी त्वामहं प्रार्थये नित्यं विद्यादानं च देहि मे। I am doing voluntary work in the digitization process of Sanskrit manuscripts with organizations like E-Gangotri and Core Sharda team. So I will just explain what I have been doing from past 1.5 years. I was interested in learning scripts because way back when I was in college, I had heard a lecture about the contributions of Indian scholars and mathematicians. And I was particularly interested in the story of zero. But in those days, I could only get a few materials in the form of books. Later, when I started reading on internet, I got to know about the Sharda Lipi course, which was around 2 years ago. So after that, then I came to know that the first instance of zero recorded in Sharda Lipi in a Bakshali manuscript. So that created more interest in me. So I also joined in the same group which taught me Sharda Lipi with transliteration work also. Then I slowly associated with E-Gangotri, where I do the identification of the untitled manuscripts. Here is one such manuscript, and whatever I am speaking is known to all of you. So I am just sharing my experiences. Here we know that all classical works, Sanskrit works, are often preceded by Mangalacharan, and here we can see Om. This is in Sharda script. Om Swasti, Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, and sometimes the Mangalacharan also contains Mangala Shloka and also some extra details. Here it is given Asya Shri Bhagavad Gita Mala Mantrasya Shri Bhagavan Vedavyasa Rishihi Anushtup Chandaha. So these are some of the information is given in this manuscript, and also in the margin we can see that Gi, which stands for a letter in the title, that's Bhagavad Gita, and also the page number. So with these details, it is easy to identify this manuscript as Bhagavad Gita, and I usually give my notes specifying where the title is can be identified, and also the name, and from where this is procured from Anantnag district in Kashmir region. So giving all these details, I send it back to E-Gangotri, where it is merged with the rest of the scanned manuscript pages, and it will be uploaded to the archive, where anybody can access it free of cost. And this is a form of e-Granthalaya. This will be used by casual readers or scholars for their research work, and it is available all the time. And
Sorry, Bhagini, where are your notes on that? The picture you showed?
my notes,
The previous picture you were showing, that is the original script, right?
this is the
Original document.
version. Yes.
Okay, okay. So
And yeah, this usually nowadays what usually I used to send only my notes as a PDF.
uh-huh.
And at eGangoti, they were merging with the remaining documents, the remaining PDF pages. But now that work is also done by me. They send we have Google Drive folders, so where I will download the PDF, untitled PDF, after it is scanned, and I identify the manuscript and prepare my notes. And this is the first page of the, after merging, this will be the first page. When it is uploaded, you can or you can see that before this page I'm displaying, my notes will be displayed, so that it is easy for anybody to know what is inside this manuscript.
Okay.
And this is my another work, which is in transliteration with Core Sharda team. It's a private organization, and it is basically they are trying to revive Sharda Lipi. It is started by Kashmirians, and because Sharda has a lot of manuscripts, thousands of manuscripts in Sharda Lipi, we are all interested in the transliteration program, where we procure. Here I had given how the manuscript is uploaded, and such manuscripts are again downloaded, and the transliteration is done into Devanagari Lipi, so that those who don't know Sharda Lipi also can access the knowledge from all this. There are many such lipis which are where Sanskrit language is been was written, like Mithilakshara, Grantha, Nandinagari, and Brahmi, and there are variations in Brahmi, and all other local languages also along with this. So in Sharada, we know that there was a university, a thriving university, along with the Takshashila and Nalanda and such universities, where many students were visiting, and many works were done, and many scholars were residing in Sharda University, which is in ruins right now. And even Shankaracharya and Sri Shankaracharya and Sri Ramanujacharya also went to Sharda University from southern part of India for referring the books, the manuscripts which were preserved there. So that was the and because of that, Kashmir region was also known as Sharda Desha. So with this background, they want to revive. Nowadays, the Sharda Lipi is not used that widely. So this group is one of the groups which is trying to revive Sharda Lipi, and they are teaching Sharda Lipi free of cost. And they have also taken out e-magazine called Matrika, and together in order to use Sharda Lipi in various forms, transliteration is also one of the programs which is being done, and I am part of group. In this group, we did Sri Rupa Bhavani Rahasyopadesha. She was in 17th century a great saint poetess. So
What is this organization you mentioned, which is doing this work?
Core Sharda Team Foundation.
Core Sharda team. This is
Core
just
Sharda.
unofficial group, or is it a?
They have license. They have license. Still evolving from past. I think 5-6 years they are in operation. It's a private organization.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and you have information about all these organizations on the net also. Koda Sharda thing. It is
Okay.
now our operations is progressing. Uh, so here, when we get from the this one is procured from Dogra Art Museum manuscripts site, Jammu, and whatever information we get, the identifier and the title. Sometimes the title we have to find out. Sometimes the title is already with the manuscript, and how many pages are there, and what language, and also because Sharda is also used to write Kashmiri language. So here it is Sanskrit, and what is the subject? Whether it is here it is Kashmir Shaivism or any philosophy or any other medical Ayurveda. So we have to mention that uh, subject also, and the script and the language. So this is a sample page. This is Burj Patra. Usually, this tree is found in the north part of India, especially in Kashmir. This particular manuscript is in Burj Patra. And here, this is on the left side is the Sharda script, and the right side we have transliterated line by line. And you can see that we have not done any verse form. This is just a first step of the transliteration. As what we find, we write it, but because you can see that usually the manuscripts, the words are not formed. There is a gap between letters. So in our discussions, we try to create as many valid words as possible, so that when it taken up for the next step, this will be arranged in verse form, what we usually find in modern books. So since it is a running line, the word sometimes if it is continuous, if the word continues in the next line, we give such symbols. And also sometimes when we are reading, we will be reading one letter, and but we feel that if it means another letter, we give it as a suggested reading, but we will not change what the scribe has written. But we feel sometimes it may be oversight, or sometimes it is the way, the tradition of that place to use certain phrases or letters. So we just mention it. And after this, there will be notes. If there is anything notable to draw to the attention of the reader, then we will make notes also. And this is some magazine which I was talking about, and the opening prayer was also I recited from this. The first issue was from February this year, and anybody can become a member here. It is free of cost and can contribute also. And here one of the articles was on the Bakshali manuscript, which contains the evidence of zero. And this is the manuscript, which is around 70 leaves are there, and they are kept in Oxford University. That's in the Bodleian Library in the Oxford University. And it gives some information about they have done all carbon dating and everything, and they try to ascertain the age of this manuscript. And so what happens, the manuscript, just by doing carbon dating with the manuscript, you will not know when the concept was originated. This may be the original manuscript, or this may be a copy. So for that we have to do the investigation of the script itself. This one I just included in my presentation to show that the Sharda Lipi went back many centuries ago. This is my
Bakshali is a
work.
place, Bhagini. What is Bakshali?
Bakshali is a place in Pakistan, present-day Pakistan, near Peshawar. There
Okay.
in 1881, a farmer, while working on his field, found these manuscripts. Then he took it to authorities. Usually, at that time, 1881 means British India, and they took it over and did the investigation, and then they took it to England for further, and now it is placed there.
Okay, thank you.
And all this information is available on the net. So my work is voluntary with in manuscripts area. That is Kritikara Nidarshana Karyam, with identifying the manuscript and, if possible, any extra information, and also Aksharantara, that is the transliteration work. And all this work is published to net, which will be available for the public for their further use. And this is from Kulgaon. Another this is in Devanagari script. So here, where we usually find the title, where to identify the title. In the first instant, I discussed that that scribe had written in the beginning of the manuscript itself, but many times it is in the colophon, which is in the last part of the manuscript. And the first keyword is to find iti. The moment we say find iti, this is in Devanagari, iti, then we'll know that they're saying something about the manuscript, and also some extra information. In this manuscript, you can see that there are many things we can discuss in this particular manuscript. The first is, it is Sri Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyam, and this is Yoga Shastre, Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvado Prathamodhyaya. And here the scribe has omitted one letter. Ga is not there, so it may be a mistake, scribal mistake. And Sri is looking a bit different from what we are using. This is Devanagari. And also there are a few more letters. So these things can be here. This is for Egan Kotri. I just identify the manuscript title, and if I get a matching on the net, I just post it here, and so that, and make them marking, so that anybody who's seeing this in this manuscript, first they'll have the first-hand information what to expect. Then they can do the remaining investigation with the manuscript, and also where I got this particular instance, so that they can, when they are reading this manuscript, they can also keep the already published work, and they can refer it. And also they can, when they are doing critical edition work, they can see that such character was used. So the way the character, the variation in characters, they can mention, and this helps in, the main part is this helps in identifying the era, the time period where this particular manuscript was written. That is the one important aspect. And this is another aspect. This is a Nyaya Siddhanta Muktavali Dinakari. When I got this, this is the top one, is the manuscript I received. And here it was as di and na. And there was no colophon. And also in the beginning, we have this Devastuti, but we nothing else was given, which was very easy to read. Then then I had to read the manuscript line by line. Then I found out about this Siddhanta Muktavali. So because when we don't have any extra information, we have to catch hold of the keywords and start searching in the internet to find whether we get a matching. If we get a matching, then we have to we can compare and give find out the title. Otherwise, in the worst case, we have to say that no, this is unidentified, and it has to be taken to a scholar for further investigation. So here, when I searched it, I got this particular one, what I have shown in the bottom part of the uh, slide. This is Nyaya Siddhanta Muktavali. I got a hit here, Siddhanta Muktavali, and it is Nyaya Siddhanta Muktavali and Dinakari. But here, in this manuscript, which was in the internet, it was Mu and Dhi, Muktavali Dinakari. But here, and also we have sometimes we have Siddhanta Muktavali, and there were other search. I got such instance also. So, but this was closer to what I have received to identify. Then some of the lines were coinciding. So then I found out Dinakari also somewhere else in this manuscript in another page. Then I got to know that this is Dinakari, Dina. From this, maybe it is the name of the author, or which is Dinakaracharya. So then I gave the name as Dinakari because it was in the running title. And to say more about it, so in the bracket I have given the name, which was from the compared text, so that whenever anybody searches, all these things are can be it will be listed, and for further investigation or comparison or critical editions, they can use all the manuscripts. Again, this is from our another transliteration work, and this is in fact the first transliteration work we did with the core Sharda team. Here, this is known as Tattvānusandhāna. It's a philosophy work. Again, Sharda language, Sharda script and language. Here, in the last page, which I have not given here, it is the date is also mentioned. So, what we can find in colophons? Colophons give us iti. After this, the colophon gives us the name of the author or the scribe, his guru, and also when it was written, the title of this Tattvānusandhānam Prakaranam Samaptam. So the title of the so that we know that definitely that the name of the manuscript, and also in the running title we are it is also verified the and no. So all this information is there, and also in the next page it was there, the Vikram Samvat. So with this information, it is we are getting a more definite information about to which era, to which time frame this particular manuscript is belonging to. So we're doing a critical edition, more information can be extracted from the manuscript itself. This is the first page of that manuscript, and usually in Sanskrit manuscripts and also in Sharda, the text is in the center of the manuscript, and there are several lines, which is usually very evident, and a space is left on all the sides, known as margin. And this is the top margin, this is the bottom margin, this is the left and the right. And usually in the left, we find the title, running title indication. And if only top and bottom margin is with the text, it's known as Tripadi. And here it is Panchapadi, because the scribe has written many information on all the sides. So he has not wasted any space here. And here we can find a plus like symbol. This is for representation purpose, which in Core Sharati, my another responsibility was to document. So when we translated it, I thought that this is a very good demo material. So to represent how the Sharda originally was written and what it represents in Devanagari. And this is known as Kakapada, sometimes the Hamsapada, to know the correct insertions. If the scribe has forgotten to any particular word or anything like that, he would give a indication here, a symbol, and it will be in the nearest space in the margin. And also other clause marks are there where some extra information to give more definitions or more information on a particular word with here. And more these are all the comments and extra information. Sometimes the scribe himself would have written it, or if the scribe has written and the author has corrected it, if he feels that it has to add more information, or afterwards when the it is transmitted from one scribe to another scribe in different eras also, some people would have, some other scribe would have written his comments or his commentaries here. So this is very, very important when we are doing a critical edition, because each manuscript will come with its own extra information, and these extra information will add to the value of the manuscript, what the text is saying, and also again in which era it belongs to. And this is the final editable part. Here you can't edit, it is just a demonstrative. Here it is searchable. So whenever this document is used, uh, because here it is handwritten, it is difficult, it is digitized. So the user can easily search for a particular word and find out any other extra information it comes with. And while doing transliteration or while identifying, we are actually reading the handwriting, and we know that handwriting differs, and especially in old scripts like Sharada Grantha, where they have spanned over centuries. The letters, the formation of letters changes, and this is very, very important. It also tells us many things, and these are known as variations of the characters. So, and I attended another workshop where they taught us Sharda Lipi variations, and also how to read on coins, Sharda coins, and inscriptions on Shila inscriptions. Anyway, here this is in general the Sharda Lipi over centuries. Usually, every 200 years, the kings or the patrons used to appoint scribes to rewrite the manuscripts, so that if the physical medium in which it is written is not cannot be saved, at least the knowledge is passed on from one generation to another. So this made these variations interesting. So here it is some 12th century. This is 1963. Why we were able to pinpoint 1963 is, even now in some places in Kashmir they use Sharda to write religious text or Janmapatri. So this was written in 1963. So it was a very important find for us, so that we could get the letters used there for our reference. And some of them are in 19th century, some of them in 12th century. So we have to have a list of these according to the age, that is the era, and this will give idea about from which another lipi this was born, and which another lipi it has given birth to. And here we were told in the class that Gupta Brahmi has influence on Sharda. Sharda was preceded Devanagari also. Its parallel script was Nagari, and from Nagari all the other Nagaris have evolved. And from Sharda, Thakri, and even Gurumukhi, and all the other lipis have been influenced or evolved. So this is a very, very important while studying lipi. So this is one of the very crucial to have this list with us when we are transliterating or doing critical edition. This actually helps us to come nearer to the era in which the particular manuscript is placed. And what else do we find in colophon? This is two examples of colophons. First one is Mukunda Mala by Sri Kulashekara. It is written here directly. Iti Kulashekarena Kulashekara Krutam Mukunda Mala Stotram Samaptam. So here it is very interesting to see this word Krutam. Krutam means maybe the author is directly involved here, or if any scribe has written instead of in the absence of the author's presence or a later period, usually we will find the word likitam. This is the usual thing. This can be verified when we do the critical edition. Here in this second one, iti bhagavate dashamaskande. This is Veda Stuti. Veda Stuti Bhavartha Tika. This is the commentary, and it is 87. Saptami, Saptashiti Tam Adhyaya. That is the 87th Adhyaya has been finished here. And Samvatsara 73. Jesta Shukla Dashamyam Guru. That's Guru Vasare. This Veda Stuti was completed. This is also a very important aspect where you can, the scribe himself has given the date on which this particular work has been finished. And with Samvat, we have to be careful because we don't know which shaka it belongs to. So with further reading only we can make out whether it belongs to Vikram Samvatsara or Shalivahana Shaka or Laukika Shaka, which was very popular in Kashmir region. And this is another manuscript, which is Grahalagava, written by Ganesha Daivagna. And the commentary is by Vishnatha Daivagna. It is given in this part. But this is this is not the exact colophon. This is in the middle of the manuscript. Maybe other pages were not there. And after every adhyaya or every significant portion or section, a small colophon will be given where the author's name and the scribe's name who has written the commentary, the Tikakara's name will be given, or along with some extra information about which section this has been referred to. And this is another, we have heard in the class also that sometimes the manuscripts are in a bundle. It is not a single manuscript, but a collection of manuscripts. Sometimes it is by the same scribe or by a different scribe, or by the same author or a different author. But that's how they were bundled together for preservation purposes. And we got one PDF where from Kuppara. This contained first, there was no other indication. So when I was trying to identify the main thing is the running title indication, it started changing. So that gives an indication that this is not a single kruti in this manuscript PDF, but there are several other things are also there. Sometimes we'll get full complete manuscript, or sometimes pages, and sometimes the pages are not scanned. After scanning, they are not arranged. So the later page number will be there, and before that the next page number will be there. So while reading for identification, we have to be careful how it has been given to us. So that's where the this running title with the page number helps. Sometimes this help is not there. The scribe would not have written anything. So we have to read and find out where the next topic is arriving. That's where the difficulty starts. So in this particular bundle, I could find out Yoga Vasishtha Sara, Atma Bodha by Sri Shankaracharya, Shiva Sutra, Paramartha Sara by Abhinava Gupta, and Mahartha Manjari, Sri Virupaksha Panchashika, and Bimba Pratibimba Vada. And this is the last part of that particular manuscript, which had a Bimba Pratibimba. And here, the scribe has also given the Shakha, Sri Shakha, and the date, and some extra information. And his the scribe's name, Vishwanathena Likhitam. So this is a very important aspect to find out whether this usually depicts the scribe's name. And when the author himself is directly involved, usually we get Krutham or Virachita. And this is another one by famous Jonah Raja, and he has written. This particular one is from Kiratarjuniya. He has written a commentary on Bharavi's Kiratarjuniya, so that is been depicted here. And he had also written commentary on Raja Tarangini, which was a very important manuscript work in Kashmir, because this is one of the manuscripts in Sanskrit history where the historical details are depicted in a very methodical manner. And in the end, this is what I was discussing in the group, which gave me a very inspirational moment when I saw this, because I had done identified Shiva Mahimna Stotram earlier also by other means, by colophones and running title, where it was Shi Ma, but here it is given as Ma and Pa. So in the first instance, I could not identify it, and then the opening pages and the closing pages were not there. So colophon was not there. So I had to go through the text. While reading the text, usually we start with the danda here. So because and the number, because we know that the new verse starts with after the number with the danda. And when I was reading this I could not identify, but here it said Asita Giri Samam Syat Kajjalam Sindhu Patram. This is where I suddenly remembered that it was being discussed in the class. So then I went back to my notes. The Acharya had given this particular example along with the name of the script and also the author, Pushpadanta. So by this, I just searched in the internet, got the relevant document in Devanagari, and I identified it. But one more problem was the title is Shiva Mahimna Stotram, but here it was Ma and Pa. So I cannot just blindly give Shiva Mahimna Stotram without giving more details. So when I again went to the first few pages, because it was not in the manuscript I got. So in the book, Mahimna Param is a very important word in this manuscript. So the scribe had, for any reason, he had given, instead of the name of the book work he was writing again, he had given the first few words, that is Mahimna Param. So I mentioned all these things so that anybody who is, because it is not my job at that time to find out why this is being done. So any scholar who is doing a work on this particular manuscript can find out why the scribe has written like this. This is also one more point for consideration. And I felt very happy that I got into this course because of the more information I'm getting, because I'm getting more information to read the text, and to read the text, it helps me to identify the unnamed, untitled work more in a more efficient way.
It's very interesting, Bhagni. Thanks for sharing this one. This is nice. You mentioned that we remember, but now we can relate. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And all my acharyas throughout have specified that what are the important skills while doing critical editions of these manuscripts or reading these manuscripts. Lipi Sarakshata, that is, we should have a good grasp of the Lipi and its variations. Vyakaranam, of course. The Vakaranam should be very, very good. So otherwise we'll not be able to form the words and where the sandhis have been or samasas have been used. And paribhashika gnanam, that's the technical words or terms of the particular subject, whether it is Nyaya Shastra or Ayurveda or Ganita Shastra or Jyotish Shastra, one has to have that knowledge. And Vivechana, that is to understand and analyze critically, investigate, examine the text without any other external factors, just trying to understand what the scribe is trying to relate. The scribe has, or the author has tried to relate to us. And titikshata, that is the patience. Because we have to do a lot of readings to understand a particular, for this I can relate one story. One of my scholar friend had asked me to had given me two manuscripts pages in two different lipis, two lipis, and he had not given me any hint. He wanted me to identify. So while I was going through that, it was in Bengali. Basically, I don't know Bengali, but since I had learned Mithilakshara, they resemble. There is a connection. So I thought that I can somehow manage. So I was trying to identify. Then I saw the word Ketavaha and Ketunam, and then Mamarichi and all those other things. So basically, I thought that there is one Ketu in the Navagraha, and and there is also Shodasha and Ekadasha things, and the Dasha of Ketu is around 7 or 8 years, where this Shodasha came. Then I went back and searched, and I was surprised to find that it also means comets. And there are Dhumaketu and Agni-Ketu, and there are many number of comets. And when I discussed this with my friend, and he said that they also mean a collection of comets, Shodasha or Ekadasha, when it was occurring, and this may belong to BC period. So where he is in a project where they are identifying the natural sciences, documenting, because some of the issues are not documented properly. That's why the present generation is not having that much of a knowledge of what the contributions of our ancestors have done. And the documentation is very, very important for this generation, so that the next generation can have more information about these things. Thank you for giving me opportunity to present my experiences to this class. Thank you.
Very nice, Bhagini. Thank you. I just wanted to ask one thing. If we want to get associated with e-Gangotri or any such project, how can we do this?
Yeah, surely. They, even core Sharda team, it is easy because everything is voluntary. Even they are doing voluntary work. With e-Gangotri also, if anybody is having knowledge of lipis or they are dealing with manuscripts, they have in that way they can also contribute there. If anybody is interested, I can introduce you to Chetanji, who heads the e-Gangotri. And recently, our Acharya, he was just saying that scanning work is still pending here. So he spoke to Chetanji, and maybe e-Gangotri will be involved in taking up scanning manuscripts in NSU also.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else has any questions? I think nobody has questions, Bhagini. Thank you so much for sharing this. This was really good. Thank you.
Thank you, Savir.
Okay, namaste.
Thank you,
ధన్యవాదాలు.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.